good morning everyone. Today is Monday, August 29th, and this is pretty much my first video that I'm really posting on YouTube. I'm trying to promote some of the information that I have. I have a new book coming out, and what I plan on doing is providing some insight and advice regularly on this YouTube channel with regard to life, parenting, children, school, health, wellness, you name it. And the first order of business is a clip from live national TV this past Saturday when I appeared on Fox and Friends. And the clip is a story about a mother who left her 8- and 9-year-old home alone and was arrested. So you'll get to hear my take on this, and you can form your own opinion, and feel free to reply. Without further ado, here it is.
Over to you.
Sandra, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, a mother now facing charges for leaving her 8- and 9-year-old children alone at their vacation rental for about 45 minutes while she went to go pick up their takeout for dinner. Well, there's no specific law in Delaware where she was arrested, just guidelines that police will investigate reports of children 12 and under being left home alone. So, does her punishment fit the crime, or is it a little bit over the line? Let's ask our parenting panel. We have Keisha Habban is an attorney and a mother. Tom Kirsting is a father and a psychotherapist. And Sam Sarbo is a mom and the host of the Sam Sarbo Show on TRN. All right, we all have opinions about this, myself included. So, Keisha, tell me, is this over the line? I mean, leaving your kids for 45 minutes to go pick up their meal, they're 8 and 9, too much?
I think it's a big problem. Not only should not only should she have been charged criminally, but Children Protective Services should also be involved. You're leaving children in a rental, so it's not like they're in a normal home environment that they're familiar with, and they end up in the middle of the street chasing the dog.
So that's a detail that we didn't disclose up front. The reason they were found out is because they went out to chase the dog. They were found in the middle of the street.
By a stranger who been a molester or anything.
Which could add a variable to any of this. So Tom, kids are found outside. But what if they had stayed inside and hadn't gone outside? Did this mother overstep her bounds?
I don't understand how she was arrested. It clearly states that there's no law. So how do you arrested for violating a law if there is no law about that, first of all? Secondly, I think it should really be at the discretion of the parent. I mean, 8 and 9, I think that's, if you would, I'm okay with that personally. Mm-hmm. You know, I know my kids. I know my kids are not going to run out on the street by themselves if I go out for a half an hour. But if you have kids that do that, then maybe you shouldn't be leaving your parents at your kids at home.
Tom, that's a great point. And Sam, I asked my wife about this very thing, and she said, hey, 6-year-old, I have a 6- and 4-year-old at home, 8 and 9, 6 and 8, they're all different in their maturity levels and others. Who should be drawing this line? Why should the government be telling us what age you can when a parent can make a call of, hey, my kid's ready for this or not?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question, because I have to ask why the guy thought that the government was the best person to solve this issue. Why he didn't just either stay with the kids and then talk to the mother when she got back and say, hey, your kids were running out in the street. We don't have all the details here, but the idea that this gentleman thinks that the government can solve this problem is what's problematic to me. The idea that we're taking all the responsibility for parenting now and putting it at the feet of the government that has already shown that it is completely incapable of even educating our children, that's a problem for me.
Well, Keisha, you mentioned Child Protective Services, which to many people would sound like, there are instances of child abuse. This is, hey, I'm going to pick up meals for my kids. I want them to stay inside. Is this what the government should be focusing on?
This is neglect, and I've seen cases where parents have left their children in cars while they ran into the store for 5 minutes, and they're charged with endangered welfare.
Because I'm tempted to do that at my general store in my small town, because I want to go get a loaf of bread or something, and hey, the kids are really
clearly this mom didn't give these children instructions. Why was the door open? How did the dog end up out in the middle of the street? That stranger could have been a danger to those children, and she didn't leave them with specific instructions. So that's neglect. That's not making sure your children are safe.
Tom, neglect?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, my parents, the way I was raised, my parents would have been arrested 500 times by now. And I think I turned out pretty well. I don't feel neglected at all. I felt pretty loved.
I mean, judging based on this segment, you're okay.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes from here. Sam, any last thoughts on this?
Well, the idea that the kids were left and they weren't given instructions not to talk to strangers, not to tell the stranger, no, my mom's just in the shower, everything's fine, we're taken care of. That is a problem, and I have to question that, because we really don't have all the details here.
No, I think parents everywhere in America are saying, hey, I probably left my kids, including myself, for a couple of minutes here or there. Is that okay? You're right, though. When the government steps in, they're going to have a heavy hand when the judgment of parents is ultimately what.
Where's common decency? Where's common courtesy? Where would that go?
A lot of common decency and common sense on this panel. Thank you all this morning.
Common sense is the key.
That's right. Thank you all for joining us. Common sense is the key. We appreciate it. Parents all. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.